Alright, everybody. It is budget magic time, and I think we have a sweet one today. Hopefully. We are playing a blue-black control deck, but it's a little different because the way that we win is by Phoenix, God of Deceit, and a bunch of walls, which we can hopefully use to mill out our opponent. So we literally have 0 ways of killing our opponent with damage. So our entire game plan is to mill our opponent out. If that doesn't work, then we lose. So it should be interesting. Other than that, we got counters and disruption. One of the cool synergies is we get to play all these big walls and play Languish. So we get to wipe away all our opponent's stuff while our stuff stays. For example, right here, we get to play a Wall of Frost, which seems absolutely insane against a red deck. Like, how do they beat a Wall of Frost? I mean, I guess they can burn our face, but still. Talk about blocking. There's an Abbot. I guess it's possible we beat the red deck with damage, because they could just idle unlock themselves. Lightning Strike, they can't be cast. So if they attack here, we get to block, and then Eidolon will not untap next turn. That's the beauty of Wall of Frost. Dissipate, eh? Alright. We'll just play Evolving Wilds and pass. We have so many counters. We might as well sit on our counters. And then kill something end of turn. Guess we'll just block the Abbot. And yeah, so we're going to sack Evolving Wilds to get an island. And then we will Murderous Cut this Eidolon, because it is kind of annoying to take damage off of our counter spells. Murderous Cut the Eidolon. Ooh, Languish. Well, I think we just pass. We basically have our opponent's board locked up at the moment. They can attack, but then we just block and their creature doesn't untap. Another Wall of Frost. Alright, let's keep passing. So our opponent can actually get in for damage this turn. Stoke the Flame. Well, we are going to Dissolve Stoke. We don't want to take 4 damage. Ooh, we will keep Radiant Fountain. So eventually we're going to draw into Jace's Ingenuity, which we have 2 of. Dig Through Time, we have 4 of. And then we can use that to find one of our 2 copies of Phoenix. And then we can start milling 7 a turn with our Wall of Frost, and that'll close out the game pretty quick. I guess it is technically possible that we could win the game with damage, because we could play enough walls to turn on our god, and then use him to attack. Alright, so our opponent's just going to throw some burn spells, get some triggers. We're going to play Radiant Fountain to gain some life. And I think we just pass for now. We'd like to draw another land, so we could Wall of Frost and leave up a counter. Ooh, Ultimate Price is excellent. So we'll just ship the turn again, because now we can block like one of the creatures, probably the Swift Spear. Well, first we need to counter Eidolon. So we'll counter Eidolon. Exquisite Firecraft, we can't counter that. But the good news is our opponent is out of cards. So our opponent attacks. So we will block the Swift Spear. Then we will Ultimate Price. Another Radiant Fountain, solid. I think we still need to sit on our counter, though. The only risk is we do get gotten by another exquisite firecraft, because we can't counter that. Another Wall of Frost. We would really like some card draw. That's kind of the sticking point right now. Ooh. Oy. We'll just play another wall. We gotta leave up this counter, I think. Unfortunately. There's also some risk that we just get overloaded, but by multiple burn spells. But we're gonna play Phoenix here, and we can mill our opponent out in 2 turns. So we just have to hope we survive those 2 turns. My opponent goes with Stoke, which we will dissipate. Did he draw a double Wild Slash? Oh my gosh. So our opponent ran perfectly. They were empty-handed and drew Stoke, Wild Slash, Wild Slash. Oh well. We have some sideboard action against this deck, though. We have 4 Pharika's Cures, which gain us life. We have Drown in Sorrows, and we have Duresses. Also have Negates. The walls are good here. I don't think we need Foul Renewal. That was basically, I was worried that they could kill all of our creatures, and then we wouldn't be able to win. But I don't think that's actually a worry against this deck. What else can we cut? Guess we can cut Monastery Flock. There's no flyers. Cut a Duress, a Jace's Ingenuity. Maybe go down to 1 Phoenix since they can't get rid of it. And maybe we're not going to be able to play 4 Duresses. 3. Cut a Dissipate and a Wall. I don't really want to cut Wall of Frost. Maybe Murderous Cut. Alright, let's run it like that. Bring in our gain life removal. We were actually 1 turn away from winning there, too. We could have tapped out to mill 21, and then tapped out on our turn to mill 21, and won on our opponent's upkeep. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. There's a Swift Spear. We'll just play Island here, I think. So we have the option of killing the Swift Spear if we need to. Zurgo with Dash. I think we're still just going to kill the Swift Spear, since I'll have to spend mana to cast Zurgo again, even though we take 1 more damage. Now we'll just play another Temple, I guess. I don't think we need another 3 mana counter at the moment. Another dashed Zurgo. It's going to put us down to 15. Well, I guess we just play the Wall of Frost. I'm not going to dash your Zurgo through that. Thunderbreak Regent. Okay. Sack our Evolving Wilds for a Swamp. Play Radiant Fountain. I think we're just going to ultimate price this Thunderbreak right now. Yeah, we take some damage, but what can you do? Zurgo, we're not going to worry about that. Eidolon, though, I think deserves a counterspell. Even though we can Languish, we don't really want to take a ton of damage off of it. We will keep Phoenix, I think. Get the Mill Train going. A little risky to tap out, but we're at a pretty high life total. So we're just going to run the God out there. If our opponent plays a bunch of creatures, we can languish them all away. No attacks, alright. Mill 7. Another counter. Alright, pass the turn, sit on our counters. And we will just keep milling. Stoke the flame. Let's dissolve that. Island. Don't think we need another land at the moment. Eidolon, sure. And what? Stoke? Eidolon and Stoke. So we're down to 8. But get to do some more milling. Got 1 Firecraft so far. Well, I think we're just going to languish. The only way this really hurts us is if he draws a big flyer. Alright, well, we'll mill 7 more. We are slowly getting there, and that's a dig. Alright, pass the turn. Oddly enough, we can also tap the wall to fuel our digs if we ever want to. Thunderbreak, well, that's going to get dissolved. And we got there. Sweet. Wall of Frost. The secret to beating red decks. Wall of Frost. So maybe we do want this last languish. Our opponent kind of went bigger after sideboard. So maybe we'll just bring in 2 Freakish Cures. Because we do... Thunderbreak Regent could beat us. Well, we're going to need to draw lands. But Radiant Fountain is solid, and we have an ultimate price. Ooh, that's good. This should help us find lands. Drown. Ugh. I think we put Drown to the bottom, considering we have 2 languishes. And we just try to live long enough to languish. I think we play Swamp. And then just plan on killing Eidolon. And another Eidolon is the follow-up. Well, since we drew another land, I think we just play Island, sit on Clash of Wills, pass the turn, and hopefully our opponent just plays another little creature like a Swiftspear. And although we're going to take a little damage here, then we'll get to languish away everything and gain back 2 life with our Radiant Fountain. Opponent goes Lightning Strike to the face. Sure. So we're down to 11, but we go back up to 13. Opponent only has 3 cards in hand. We get to languish away the board. If our opponent goes land Thunderbreak, we get to kill it. Otherwise, we'll take 2 here. Feeling good about our position. I think we're where we want to be. And a duress. Well, I think we duress. Get rid of an Exquisite Firecraft since we can't counter that one. Then we'll go with Dismal Backwater and pass the turn. Not sure if we want to counter a dashed Zergo. I think we will. Counter the Zergo. Another languish. Well, with 2 languishes, I think we just go Mnemonic Wall to get back Duress. I think we want Duress. We'll be able to take another big burn spell. Play Evolving Wilds, pass the turn. Yep, there's a Stoke, which is fine. So we basically just want card draw now. More counter spells are also fine. Search out an island. Ooh, Phoenix. Alright, well, let's duress. See what our opponent has going on. Firecraft and Lightning Strike. So we'll take Firecraft. Play a Phoenix. And pass the turn. So we're at a virtual 5. Alright, Abbott. Revealing Abbott. Alright, double Abbott. Kind of bad. Get to mill. Ooh, that's a drown. Drowned is awesome. Mnemonic Wall does die to Languish, so being able to play a removal spell that doesn't kill our Mnemonic Wall is excellent. And our opponent scoops it up. Sweet! Score 1 for Phoenix.